Welcome to another episode of The Fold. My name is Teresa Caterini, and I'm your host today as we talk to a loyal Good Shepherd volunteer. Welcome to The Fold, Trish.
Oh, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Happy to have you. Trish, you've been volunteering with Good Shepherd for a long time, but I heard you talking about a lot of different places you've volunteered.
Mm-hmm.
I have the sense that you've been a volunteer for quite a while. What got you started?
I always was a helper. I'm one of 7 children, and I was the oldest daughter.
Mm.
So I grew up just helping all the time. And then I had this amazing mother who was the kindest, sweetest, helpful person. And we didn't have very much money, 7 kids in that.
Right.
But she gave to the neighbors. And when someone was sick, she brought soup and all that kind of. So it was instilled in me.
There was a model there for you of
Yeah.
helping other people.
And then when I grew up and moved to Toronto, I found something to do there. And then I moved to Brampton and I did there. In 1998, I came back to Hamilton. And that's when, well, I had full-time jobs when I was in Toronto and Brampton. But when I came back to Hamilton, I sort of semi-retired. And then it was volunteerism full on, yeah.
Okay. So you had worked in other careers.
Mm-hmm. I was
right?
an office manager in administration, yeah.
Okay. Do you feel like when you started to volunteer, you were looking for things that would utilize those skills, or were you feeling
No,
open?
that was the last thing I wanted. I'd
Fair.
seen enough accounting. No, done.
Yeah, fair enough.
I wanted the freedom, right? Like volunteerism, you go for a couple of hours and then you can, this is what I think, no matter where I go, I always say when I volunteer, I'll do whatever you want me to do because I'm only there for like 3 hours. So if it's hard, big deal, I'll go home and rest. Whereas when I was working full time, if it was hard, I still had this many more hours to go and the rest of the week, right? So that's what I thought. And I never really found anything hard anyway.
Can you remember what was the first place where you volunteered?
In Hamilton?
Anywhere.
The first place I volunteered officially was St. Joseph's Hospital, a candy stripe. I don't think they have them anymore.
Oh, I don't think they do either.
There's so many things I did that they don't do anymore. Like when I started working originally, I was a secretary with shorthand and typing, and they don't do that anymore.
No, they do not. Okay, so you started out like young volunteering as well. And then you moved to Hamilton. And how did you navigate where am I going to start volunteering?
Well, my family lived in Hamilton, right?
Okay.
So I knew about the Good Shepherd. I used to come down to Hamilton a lot. So I had some friends that told me what a great place it was. But my mother had died a few years earlier, and I was still pretty much grieving her. And I heard about this hospice at Emmanuel House that was opening up so when I came back to Hamilton, Emmanuel House opened, I think, in April 1998. I started there at July 1998. So the brothers were still working on it, and a brother, Justin, he's got such a flair for, fashion and decorating. So that was really exciting to be in the ground of that. And beautiful big kitchen. I'd never seen a kitchen like that before.
Wow.
So I did lots of things, Emmanuel House, but mainly I wanted to do something for the people, for the residents at Emmanuel House that maybe I didn't do for my mom. And I know I did a lot for her, but when you lose someone you love so much, you never think you did enough. So it was my little, I wouldn't say penance, but it was my way. I guess I hope my mom's looking down and she'll be proud of me.
Yeah. So I hear how there's something about volunteering that also allows you to honor something in the model that your mom was in helping others and connect with her in a way because you're doing things that remind you of her. That's quite beautiful.
Well, it's absolutely true. And I live my whole life that I do. I always think, someone might be watching. No, I want to lead a good life that she would be proud of.
I think a lot of people don't know how to grieve or how to connect back to their elders that they've lost. And I think doing things that remind us of them is a great way to kind of honor the lessons that they taught us and the spirit that lives inside us of who they were.
One of the things that she told me, and it's so true, she said, if you give and you're generous and you always give to people, you will never, ever do without. And you know what? I'm in my 70s and I have never done without. And so I feel like her little voice always is in the back of my head. Sometimes and then, no, do it.
Has there been a time in your life where you needed help from someone?
Well, I'm human. So of course,
Fair.
like after my mom died, like I've always been upbeat and warm and friendly, but that first year I was quite devastated by the loss because I was super close to her. And and then I was divorced. Well, my first, sadly, you're taking everything out of me. My first husband died when he was only 27.
Oh, that's quite young.
And I was only 27 too. So that was quite heartbreaking. And my family were so supportive. And then, so I needed help then. And then I got remarried. And then after 25 years, I got divorced. I needed some more help. But through that, after my divorce, I went to a place run by the family ministry called Levels. And after I finished the session, then I became a facilitator there. And I worked there for like 17 years and helped the people that helped me.
I love that. So you've had these kind of big transitions in your life, some that were quite challenging, some that were quite devastating, right? And there was a time where you needed a bit of help and it inspired you. And I hear many people go through this journey of, I've received help, I've needed to access a service or go through a journey, and they want to transform that. They want to give back and be able to do for people what it did for them. In your volunteering years, do you find that other volunteers share that spirit with you?
Oh, absolutely. This is the best part about volunteering for Good Shepherd. Everyone I meet is nice. Everyone I meet has a good, kind heart. And I don't believe in having toxic people around me, toxic people. I like to be surrounded by good people. So, the people at Good Shepherd, and the people that I met at Levels, which was the self-help group, I am friends with some of them after 20 years, but because I surround myself with good, decent people.
Right. People who have like a common view of what they want the world to be.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's important for people to care about giving back to our social service organizations?
Well, I think if you were born in Canada, you won the lottery.
Yeah.
So we have such an abundance here. And even when you think about the food bank, right, there's so much food there. People do not have to go hungry. That there's so many countries in the world that so much devastation going on. There's children starving. See, we are so lucky. I do believe in feeling grateful all the time. And that if people are complaining and whining about living here, what they don't have, I don't have a lot of patience because everyone should be grateful here.
Yeah.
Because like I say, even if you don't have much, there's places you can go to get help.
So
and healthcare, right?
Yes, yes. So volunteering, we talked a bit about how it allows you to like honor something that was important to you growing up, but also it's a way of expressing gratitude.
Yes.
Right? By giving back to the community, you're saying, I have enough. The things around me are ample. And I want to share what I have, and I want to make sure that other community members, have what they need.
Right.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. So I'm curious about actually your time at Emmanuel House, because I realized that when you say you were there when it opened.
That was the AIDS crisis.
Exactly. Yeah. My understanding was it was responding.
And then I got to know about people with AIDS and know that was perfectly, not normal, obviously, but that you didn't have to be afraid of people with AIDS.
And at the time,
I met beautiful people with AIDS.
Yes, there was a lot of, panic in the media and in culture.
I had friends saying, don't go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this is another really interesting thing about volunteering is that we get exposure to people who maybe in our siloed groups, if you said you were working in office admin, that means that the people in your life are probably people who are working in the office, right? And we can easily lose connection with the diversity of humanity.
Yeah, especially if you have a good life. Like when I lived in Brampton, I had a nice house. All my friends had houses. So I had never seen encampments till I came back to Hamilton. Back then, we didn't have that in Brampton. So of course I had empathy, but I didn't see it up front. Now, I live downtown, so I know the poverty that exists in Hamilton and the need that there is. In Brampton, it was like La La Land, right?
Right. Yeah. And when you live in like in a community like that, you lose perspective.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you lose perspective, I think also we lose touch of things like gratitude. Right. Yeah. So by volunteering, you're able to get perspective of of who's around me,
Yes.
who
Yeah.
exists,
Yeah.
right? Whose
Yeah.
lives are.
Yeah. Not just people in dire need in that, but immigrants. And I'm an immigrant, so I'm always fighting for immigrants. I
Mhm.
love immigrants. So, and I know so many people that have the wrong idea about what immigrants are, that they don't know that they built this country.
Right.
So yes. So I meet all kinds of immigrants, and I love it.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful. Yeah. So you get a chance to meet lots of people, to hear lots of stories, to understand different perspectives. Do you volunteer at a lot of places in Hamilton?
I do.
So not just Good Shepherd.
No, I also volunteer at the art gallery.
Wonderful.
Now that is a totally different vibe completely.
It would be.
Which is, I've learned so much about art. I knew practically nothing about art. I don't know how I had the cheek to even go and volunteer, but then I've learned so much. But it's a happy place, a calm place. It's so different. So, and why I ended up at the art gallery was because during COVID, we couldn't go to Emmanuel House anymore for quite a long time. And I lived near the art gallery. I thought, I wonder if I would go there. So yeah, and it worked out great. That was like 4 years ago, and I've had so many great experiences there. It's different, right? Yeah. And then I go to Venture Center on Wednesdays for a couple of years now. And I'm a special event person that they call from time to time. And if I can do it, I will.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So the Good Shepherd has expanded my outlook on life and the opportunities I've had to meet people.
Of course.
Yeah.
Has volunteering allowed you to make new friends when you moved here to
yes.
Hamilton?
Oh,
Why
yeah.
was it an important part of moving to Hamilton?
Oh, because, I was divorced.
Yeah.
And my mom, no, my mom was already gone by then.
Mhm.
Yeah. My brothers, my sisters were here. And I love Hamilton. I like Hamilton. It's a gritty city. The people are real. So yeah. And when I was in Brampton, we used to come down, and my mom was still alive all the time. So, I spent all my Christmases in Hamilton. Hamilton was home. Hamilton is home.
I feel that there's something about there's this thing that I find today where it's very easy for people to feel isolated, right? We have our phones, we have media that's tailored to us. People can find themselves in these ruts of not being engaged. What do you get out of being out in community?
Well, I love to meet people. I love to meet new people. I love to help.
Mhm.
Yeah, I get a feeling of that I produce something. Like I'm kind of like a type A, and I'm not for sitting on the couch all day. I want to go out. I want to do things. I want to walk. If something's new in town, I want to go there. I want to see it. I want to sort of be living, be part of the whole thing that's going on. I don't want to miss out on anything.
So it sounds like it helps you feel like super connected,
Yeah.
connected to your life, connected to who you
A-
are.
And even variety, like the art gallery is one place.
Mhm.
Venture Place is something else. The Good Shepherd Christmas dinner thing, I get so excited about that. That's another thing. And then there's different volunteers at different places. So yeah.
Yeah, and you had mentioned that, you volunteered. We talked a bit earlier. You told me about how you had volunteered at some other programs. So it sounds like you have seen some of the different programs here at Good Shepherd. You mentioned now you are at the Venture Center.
Right. Mhm.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you do at the Venture Center?
Well, I check dates.
Ah.
No, well, we do different things, but mostly we have a great team. Myself, Darlene, Gerard, and Nassim. So that's our core team, but sometimes we'll be off or something. But so we have a great big bin, and all the food that's donated from all the grocery stores or personal donations. So we have to check the tins and check the best before date and that.
Mhm.
And yeah, and put them in boxes. So get it ready for the grocery store. Now, I have on various days gone into the grocery store where you meet the public more. That's really nice. All the food is free, but there's this really organized system of what they have. And yeah, it's fun. Sometimes I've stocked the shelves, but whatever. Like I say, whatever I have to do, I'll do. Yeah.
That's wonderful. If you were talking to somebody who was thinking about volunteering, somebody who was thinking, I don't have the space to work, I'm not well enough to work, or they're retired and they're done working, what would be your advice to people on how to start to get involved?
Well, maybe start off slow. Well, first of all, contact Good Shepherd.
Yes.
Have a meeting, and there's so many different opportunities that. Like, I'm older now. I cannot run around the way I used to. Like, I'll tell you a funny story. For the Good Shepherd Christmas dinner, there's 3 team leaders in the dining room. And so we've been, the 3 of us, for probably, I don't know, close to 15 or 20 years or something, ourselves. So a couple of years ago, they decided that we would have assistants. So the 2 guys that my other team leaders, they're like, we don't want to have we don't need it. We're doing fine just the way we're. And I said to them one day, well, we're aging out. They have to have replan. Their faces just drop. But it's true, So you want younger people to come along, and we're not going to be here forever.
Yeah.
So that was cute. So there's so many different opportunities. So a lot of the kids can come, maybe just come at the Christmas, see what it's like. And again, a lot, when people are working full time, they don't really have time. But when you're retired, again, you can't do some of the heavy lifting, but like even at a venture center, those boxes, when they're full, I'm not lifting them. Sometimes we'll see a young person going by, excuse me, young man. But that's it. So there's something for everybody, I think, even if it's just talking. I don't know if the Good Shepherd has anything like people can work from home on the phone and call people that are lonely or something. That would be something that someone could do that couldn't get out and about.
I'm not sure if Good Shepherd does that either, but I know there are organizations that do, right? That do friendly calling services for seniors.
There's something for me in my later years.
Hey, everyone, just cutting in to say we actually do have a service that does this. Good Shepherd has a senior peer support workers volunteer opportunity. So if you are over the age of 55 and you would like to give back by calling other seniors and offering some support, you can do that. You just apply online at goodshepherdcenters.ca, navigate to the volunteering page, and you'll find the information there. Yeah, I feel like there have been and hopefully still are some seniors helping seniors kinds of volunteering opportunities that are just friendly calling services.
Yeah, but you know what? People that live alone maybe don't speak to anybody for weeks on end, right? So just to get a phone call and say, hi, how's it going, Yeah.
Do you think there's something about volunteering that helps to combat loneliness?
Oh, absolutely, sure. Yeah, I mean, my life has been made so much richer. If I didn't volunteer, what would I be doing?
Well, that's a good question. What do you do when you're not?
I do make time. I like life. I have nice friends. I love going out for lunch. Like this month already, we're going to go to the RBG, that new Oz thing they have. That's for the 31st. I'm going to see the play at a theater, Aquarius, on the 28th. Murder on the Orient Express, and St. Patrick's Day. We're going to something. I think the Good Shepherd's involved in that. So I'm not totally wonderful and kind all the time. I'm pretty selfish at times. I treat myself pretty good.
Yes. It sounds like you keep yourself very busy too, right?
And I have a cat that keeps me looking after him.
Well, I think this is the point in the podcast where we switch to only talking about the cat, right?
Yes. Well, I could finish for sure. His name is Snugglebug, and he's adorable.
I love hearing that. Yes. I wish we could. Maybe we can make a separate side podcast about cats.
Yeah. I wanted to mention something kind of fits in with what you were saying. So, and also being at the art gallery. So I was at the art gallery, and there was a new volunteer, this lovely young woman, and so I started talking to her. We were working the same thing. And in the conversation, it came out that she was dying to work for the Good Shepherd.
Yes.
And I said, really? That's nice. I said, I'm there. And then she said that she had applied, but they weren't taking in right now or something.
Yeah.
And then she said, you know why I want to do that? And I go, why? She said, because when we were immigrants and we came to Canada, and we used to have dinner at the Good Shepherd every Christmas at the convention center. And my brother and sisters, my mom and dad, and we were there. And then I was like, I maybe served her. You know what I mean? And that, like, she's like 21 now, right?
Yeah.
And it just, and I thought, so she said that when she was at that dinner, that she said to her mom, one day I'm going to come here and and guess what? This Christmas, she was there.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And lovely to be a part of something where you start to see the ripple of
Yeah,
connection
yeah,
happening,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up because actually, you know, in my work away from this podcast, I do often recommend people to volunteer when they're looking to make connections, whether it's
Yeah.
social connections or to build skills and to build abilities so that they can enter employment.
Well, at the art gallery, there's a lot of art students that volunteer. That's why I don't know what I'm doing here. And yeah, yeah. And for this young lady, she's just adorable, and she has now done something else at the Good Shepherd as well. So yeah,
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So now you are finding that you're volunteering with the same people, you have connections with each other. Do these relationships transform into being part of your everyday life?
well, the one person I've known for over 20 years anyway from another place. And no, but not just them. I have my little team there, but then there's all the other people at Venture Center that I like to meet. Like Chris, who is kind of like our boss. Although when we say you're the boss, I'm not your boss in that. And I love him because every time when we say, don't say it anymore, he always comes up and he says, before you leave, I want to say thank you because somebody's going to have a meal tonight that maybe you guys helped, with the can into the box last week or something like that. And we go, oh, Chris, for heaven's. But so you get all of that beautiful feedback, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think there's anything that people need to know before they volunteer that they need to be prepared for? Sometimes people want to do something good, but they don't know what will be required of them or what they need to be prepared for.
Yeah, that's true. I've definitely seen people. They're all, it's like, oh, I want to volunteer. Oh, it'll be
Yes.
so great. It's good, and then they don't last at all.
Right.
Or when I went to Barrett Center, I remember new people would come in. They go, and I went every second. Like one Friday I would go to Emmanuel House. The other Friday I would go to Barrett Center. This was at one period, and people would, I'm going to come Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or I'm going to come twice a week. And I go, don't, if you do that, you're probably going to burn out. No, I want to do it. They were there for like 2 weeks or 3, and then they didn't come back anymore. Right. So, yeah, that happens. And also, like I said, I can't lift the boxes that are filled with the cans, but I can do part of it and get it ready for the other people. So, so sometimes it's harder. You have to know, can you lift this much, or is that part of the job, right? Or are you going to be on your feet? Like at the Christmas dinner, you have to be on your feet for a good 4 to 5 hours. I'm getting on the like.
Right. But they're bringing in the young people.
I got a couple more years in me, I think. Yeah. So, of course you have to, what is it? Like I say, maybe when people are older, maybe calling from home, calling people, so there's something to fit everybody, I think. Yeah.
Right. So what you've learned and what you've seen is that you do still have to play within your limits, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to know what you're
I'm not going
capable.
to be, like I used to, I remember I had one special thing where I was up the mountain somewhere in the corner of the street giving away bottles of water. There was a marathon or something going on. And I stood there all day in the hot sun and I thought, oh, so yeah, you have to consider what you're doing, right?
Yeah. And as you said, consider the time commitment, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, thank you for being here, Trish. You've taught us a lot about how volunteering can be a really important way to feel connected to your community, to live gratitude, to feel the gratitude, but also to diversify your understanding of the people around you, your understanding of community, your connection to people. And you've given us very good advice that people who are interested in starting out on a volunteering journey, don't overcommit.
Yeah, that's very important. Yeah. Well, from experience, like I used to go to Emmanuel House every Friday for maybe about 5 years. And then I did it. I said, I'm only going every second Friday. But then after I had that other Friday free, then I went to Barrett Center and I went to Notre Dame. So, but yeah.
Yeah. So start slow and add things in
Yes.
as you feel that you have the energy
Yeah.
for it.
Exactly. Yeah. And we all have different passions, but do something that my passion is helping others. I like doing that makes me feel good. So if you're going to go there and be miserable and saying, oh, these boxes are so heavy or why am I doing this? Don't go.
Yeah. fair. And if your passion is, arts and culture, there's opportunities to volunteer in other places, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Right? We can all find ways to give back to the community.
Mhm.
And I think we're living in a time where the need is high
Oh,
and
for sure.
the money flowing into organizations to be able to do this work is limited.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So thank you so much for the work that you do. Thank you for coming to talk to me today.
It was my pleasure.
It's been wonderful.